Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss the epilogue of this novel. Yes, epilogue. And here the narrator adds something more to the story, and he tells us that if one wants to know more about the invisible man, one can go to the little inn near Port Stow, and there you can ask that landlord and you can well know more about that invisible man. Yes, of course, there is an inn near Port Stow, and the signboard has just a hat and a pair of boots there, except that there is nothing on the signboard. Yes, and the name reads The Invisible Man, and the landlord of that inn is none other than Thomas Marvel. Yes, a short, corpulent, that is a fat person with a nose of cylindrical proportions, wiry hair, and rosiness of visage, that is, the face is all rosy and and drinks generously. Yes, and if you ask him, he'll tell you generously that how all that happened, that how he came to be a landlord. Yes, he'll tell you. So what happened is, actually, the money that he had with him, the lawyers could not prove that whose money that was, and so he had all that money, and of course it must be with that money that he purchased that inn there. And yes, he didn't tell much about it to the others, and he said that once a gentleman gave him a guinea every night, daily, to narrate the whole story of whatever had actually, as mentioned here, empire music. So he was given a guinea daily to narrate that story, and yes, he begins all that. And if you want to interrupt that flow of the story, you can well ask about those three books. And you know what he says, that I don't have, when you ask, definitely he is interrupted, and he says the flow is broken, and he says, I don't have those books. Those books were with that invisible man. He had them and he put them somewhere, and when I cut from him and came to Port Stow, so I don't have. It's Dr. Kemp who put this idea into people's mind. So, but actually, in reality, I don't have those three books. So that's what he says about those books. And then he just looks furtively, and then just fiddles with his glasses, and then goes out of the bar. So this is how he reacts to that question. And though he is a landlord now, but he conducts his household without any enterprise. Though he maintains outward decorum and such, he buttons up, though in his privacies perhaps he still uses the strings, as we discussed in the 9th chapter, that Thomas Marvel, wearing a coat which didn't have buttons, he used strings to pull the flaps together. So, and even now, though he's a landlord, he still uses strings to pull them together in his privacies, as written in the novel. And he has a reputation of being wise, and also of say a good parsimony, that he is a parsimonious person, as it is he has such a reputation there, and he conducts his life with such sincerity outwardly. And what if you say look around, if you actually watch his life carefully, it is found that on every Sunday throughout the year, and nights especially after 10, so what he does when he is cut off from the outer world, he goes into his bar, and he just with a glass of gin tinged with slight water, he goes to his room, and then he opens we can say a wardrobe. He opens a wardrobe, he opens a closet. In that closet he opens a drawer, a box, and from that box, in that box he opens a drawer, and then he pulls out three bound brown books from that drawer. Yes, he takes out three books, and before doing all this, he makes sure that he is completely alone, he is totally isolated, and he checks that properly everywhere. Even he looks under the table that yes, if there is anybody. So when he is fully sure that he is alone, he does all this, and then put those take those books out and put them on a table, and then slowly sipping that gin, he would open one of the books, turn the leaves over, back and forth, and he would just wonder, and he would admire that invisible man in the heart of hearts, that what a one he was for intellect. My goodness, that how intelligent he was, and he would try to just make head and tail out of that. But of course, when people like cuss, and that parson, yes, that vicar, they bunting, they were unable to make out anything of that, then how could he would wish that, Lord, if I could get the whole out of them, and he would say that I wouldn't do what he did. Yes, of course. And then he would just recline or relapse back into his chair and would be lost in a world of dream. Yes, a wonderful world, would think that there must be secrets, wonderful secrets in that, and in this way he would pass his time thinking of all that. So yes, we can say the only man who was benefited out of the whole episode, all this his closeness, his proximity with the invisible man, is Thomas Marvel. Only that he finally got all the money and could purchase an inn, and yes, this is how he became the landlord. So that's the end of the story, that invisibility is totally now visible to us all, that how it all happened, how he finally reverted that invisibility, and how Thomas Marvel became the landlord. So okay, for the other updates, the other things, continue watching the videos. I'll keep uploading different sorts of informative lectures for you on phonetics, on vocab, and on several other things that you will definitely feel useful for you. So continue watching and be in touch with this channel. Thank you very much.